Opening weekend series in the books for our Philadelphia Phils down the turnpike in D.C. They play a 3-game set against the Nationals. We have our opening day today, probably like close to the time this podcast goes up, 3:05 today. We're going to have our first home game of the season against the Rockies. We're going to get into that towards the end of the show. We're going to deep dive into this first opening series against the Nationals, and we got some fun stuff going on all around baseball that might be tied back into our Phils a little bit here towards the end. Game 1 of the series to open the season was the sun glare game. Zach Wheeler versus Mackenzie Gore. Wheels goes 6 innings, 1 run, 8 Ks, but Mackenzie Gore on the other side with a 13 strikeout game. 1 run through 6 innings in this one. The sun glares were brutal. Alec Boehm calling for no more 4 o'clock starts in D.C. post-game. As soon as the sun glares past the infield and the starters get out of this game, we've seen 2 runs in the 7th, 3 runs in the 8th. This game goes into extra innings where the Phillies scored 4 in the top of the 10th. So once the sun cleared the infield, it was just floodgates in D.C. The Phillies pull away with a 7-3 victory in this one. Harper and Schwarber both homered in the 7th inning of this ball game. Orion Kirkering came into this one late, got into a little bit of a jam, but he ended up with a pitching ninja clip, which is always a fun note. Day 1, first game for Orion Kirkering, always already on the pitching ninja feed. That's a good sign. Our guy Jordan Romano, he got a blown save in this one, but it wasn't 8th inning blown save. He wasn't coming in for save op in this one. I don't believe he was going to get the 9th inning. First pitch of the appearance, I want to note, was directly down the middle, called a ball. Ends up being a 4-pitch walk, hits the next batter. Things started to get real dicey, but then he reeled it back in. He did end up giving the runs, but he held things together, left a couple guys on base, and then the Phils just exploded in extra innings. So we win that one 7-3. The whole lineup looked good once the sun passed the infield. Wheels is back to his regular old stuff. 19 strikeouts in that game, though. Need to see improvement on that, and we did. In Game 2, the Phillies struck out just 5 times as a team as they took the second game in this series 11-6. And Jesus Luzardo getting the second start. We're going to use the lefties, break up the righties this year. We got more southpaws in the rotation, so we're going righty-lefty, righty-lefty, righty-lefty. Jesus Luzardo goes 5 innings in his Phillies debut, gives up 2, but 11 strikeouts, and just looked disgusting. Kyle Schwarber goes back into the leadoff spot in this game with Trey Turner out. A little bit of a back injury for Trey early. Also missed the 3rd game of this series, but he's back in the lineup today in Philadelphia. This was a big Bryson Stott game. He went 2 for 3, 2 walks, homer, double, 2 RBIs, and this was after a diving play on opening day. One of the guys we talked about all through spring training had an elbow injury last year that was kind of kept under the wraps. Hopefully he can have a big bounce-back, breakout season. Good start to the year for him. Tanner Banks got his first appearance out of the bullpen in this one. 2 strikeout inning. Looked good. And then my guy, Joe Ross, got his first appearance of the year. He did give up 1 run, but kind of like Jordan Romano, just, a couple bad pitches to start the inning and then weaseled his way through it. But the one thing I want to note from Game 2, there's no more daycare. Post-game, Bryson Stott asked, "Where's the water? Where's Marshy? He ain't coming." It's time for the daycare to grow up. And we were kind of calling for this all offseason. Not in a negative way, but it's about time these arbitration kids and the daycare starts really producing for this team. Let's see some grown men now. We're entering age 25, 26, 27, 28 on these young guys. They're not kids anymore. These are now grown men. Bryson Stott setting the tone early, not just with his play, but letting us know post-game that you're probably going to see less theatrics from the Young Bucks on the team. Now, the Phillies go into Game 3 of this series with a chance to sweep the Nationals to start off the season, and this is where I'm going to bring up a big topic for me today. Mitchell Parker stunned the Phillies in this game. 6 1/3 innings, no runs, 5 strikeouts. Left-handed starting pitching is an issue with this team. It is why they got bounced out of the playoffs. Another fan base, a lot of people like to get upset at the lineup, pitch selection, we expand the zone a little bit sometimes. I get that. Bullpen was spotty down the stretch last year. I get that. But the big issue with this team is they just can't seem to hit left-handed starters. It is an issue. 13 strikeouts on opening day. Yeah, Mitchell Parker shutting you down into the 7th inning. This was an issue last year. It's already an issue right out of the gate this year. This, in my opinion, is the problem. This is priority number 1. You've got to figure out how to hit left-handed pitching because come playoffs, they're going to feed it to you, and you're already seeing it. We've seen Mitchell Parker in Game 3 of this series because they wanted to throw the lefties at us. He's their 4. He might even be their 5. He got game 3 of the series because of the matchup, and we've seen him eat us up. So that's something that the Phillies have got to figure out. It was one of my question marks with the Max Kepler move. Love Max Kepler. Think he's going to fit in great, but it just doesn't fix an obvious issue. What's he going to do lefty-lefty? It doesn't fix the obvious issue. So who's going to step up for this team? We need to see the Castellanos and the Real Mutos and the Trey Turners really step up this year against lefties. But the other note for this series, we got Aaron Nola. We got the Rav 4th inning. Aaron Nola once again looks phenomenal until he doesn't. Josh Bell gets him, and I believe it was Nathaniel Lowe gets a big home run off of Aaron Nola in the 4th inning, makes it a 3-0 game. And then in the 6th, Josh Bell gets another shot off of Aaron Nola, 2-run homer, makes it a 5-0 game. That chased Aaron Nola out of this game. Other than those 2 pitches, he looked great. I hate saying that as often as I do about Aaron Nola. He tends to let 1 or 2 pitches completely foil a start. But some run support in this one could have changed the tone. He looked borderline untouchable through 3 innings. It was that second trip through the lineup that got him, but the Nationals just never let off the gas. Mitchell Parker was great out of the gate, and the Nationals just ran away with this one. We did see Matt Strahm in this series. Tanner Banks got a 2nd inning of work in that 3rd game of the series. So Matt Strahm was supposed to start the year injured, ends up getting some innings, so that's a good note. Another lefty to have out of the bullpen. The Phillies take 2 out of 3 in this series, and they have the Colorado Rockies coming into town. Before we talk about those games and those matchups, we got torpedo bat news around the news. The Yankees and the torpedo bat. The torpedo bat, not necessarily new. We've actually seen this before. I believe Stanton used it last year. Davis Schneider's used it before. It's not new. It's totally legal. But I knew as soon as I seen this going all over socials that we're going to see it in the Phillies locker room. Because the Phillies, I don't want to call them hype beasts, but we got some guys in our clubhouse that they love new fancy stuff. And I was not shocked to see Bryson Stott as one of those guys who came out and said he texted his Victus guy. They have torpedo bats coming to the clubhouse. Wouldn't be shocked if Bryce Harper at least tries it. You're going to see the torpedo bat in the Phillies lineup probably this week. And I'm kind of interested in that. Some of these younger guys on the team, maybe a barrel change is all that they need. This is a pretty cool piece of tech. This isn't some, I'm not one of these people on social media that's like, ban it. We need more offense, man. If we're not going to legalize steroids, obviously we're not. We got to find some sort of way to let the offense counterpunch. Pitching is always advancing. It's always getting better. The science and the spin rates. It's so easy now with all the information we have to maximize pitching. We need to have offense, have options. Have options. Have a counterpunch option. And this is helping guys like Anthony Volpe. Jazz Chisholm is off to a great start. Maybe this is something that a Bryson Stott or a Brandon Marsh, it could be huge for them. I'm a look good, feel good, play good guy. It might not necessarily be the biggest difference in the world. For some people, this will be a negative. You're not going to see someone like Aaron Judge using it, who has all the success in the world without it. But for some guys, this could make a difference, and it's going to make its way into the Phillies locker room this week. We'll see what happens with that. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about was Kyle Schwarber leading off again. We didn't want to have this conversation this early. They were planning on leading off Trey Turner and riding that out and seeing how it goes. But Trey, dealing with a back injury, out after the first game, we already have Schwarber back up at the top of the order. And I'm already back where I was last year. Why are we having this conversation? He's so good up there. He's an insane at-bat. He's going to drive in runs. He's not batting behind the pitcher like he would have been in 2006. He gets to clean up the bottom of the order. The RBIs are there's a reason he had 100 RBIs last year. He's not being hidden behind a pitcher. He's driving in runs. He is the best leadoff hitter on this team. He might be the best leadoff hitter in all of Major League Baseball. I don't know when Trey's coming, going to be back full send. We're probably going to see him rest a little bit more over the next week. He's playing today. Probably will get the next day off. We'll see how that goes. So you're going to see Schwarber at the top of the order a lot again moving forward. And I think the Phillies are going to go on a nice little heater here to start the season. They got 3 games with the Rockies, 3:05 today, 6:35 on Wednesday, and then a 1 o'clock start on Thursday. You're going to see Christopher Sanchez versus German Marquez. Then you're going to get Zach Wheeler versus Kyle Freeland. And then the last game of the series, you got Taijuan Walker versus Anthony Sanzatella. And I'm just going to go out there and say this right now. If I watch Mickey Moniak hit a home run off Taijuan Walker, I might cut him myself. There's potential that this happens. They're giving Taijuan Walker. They do not have to throw him. There's extra days off at the beginning of the season. You can run a 4-man rotation and everyone's throwing on normal rest. They're giving him a shot here. They're going to give him a game. see how he looks, and I'm nervous that this is going to explode in their face. If I see a 5-run Colorado Rockies in the third inning, I'm going to lose my mind. You're not really setting him up for success in a situation like this, because the Rockies can hit a little bit, and historically they've come into Citizens Bank Park, and it's like they're in course. Thankfully, Charlie Blackmon's not here. Look up his numbers in Citizens Bank Park. But Michael Toglia, Mickey Moniak hits righties. You got Brenton Doyle in that lineup. Ezekiel Tovar. They're not the worst team in baseball. They just have no pitching staff. So you got Taijuan Walker matched out with Santatella. Hopefully we're up 2-0 in the series once we get to that part of this one. Taijuan Walker on the mound. Our dog of the week here on the Cherry Pinstripes podcast is my boy Jesus Luzardo in his Phillies debut. Bumps up ahead of Aaron Nola, which not a lot of people seen coming. Again, that's more righty-lefty than anything else. But there's a chance he is the 2. I wouldn't be shocked if Aaron Nola's the 4 on this team. And I mean that in a good way. Christopher Sanchez is legit. I think he's going to be even better than he was last year. Jesus Luzardo, when he's right, 5 innings, 11 strikeouts in his debut. Dog. We've already seen him put full seasons together. He's in a great clubhouse right now. Good pitching coach. Great rotation around him. If this rotation is Wheeler, Luzardo, Sanchez, Nola, that's a damn good rotation to me. If Nola's the 4 by default, that means that everyone else has stepped their game up. So we got the Rockies coming into town. Guys, again, make sure you subscribe to the Cherry Pinstripes podcast. Follow us on all social media platforms. The social pages have been rebranded to Philly Sports JM. So you're going to see Eagles talk. You're going to see Flyers talk, mostly in short form content over on those pages. And we will also be funneling the podcast through those pages. So bigger audience, more to discuss, lots of Philly stuff happening on Twitter and Instagram. We will be back with another Cherry Pinstripes podcast after this Rockies series. This year we're going to be covering every series all season long. It's no longer a weekly pod. It is a series by series pod. You're going to see my beautiful face twice a week. So enjoy the game, guys. Go Phils. We'll see you in the next one.